Percentages. Okay, they're everywhere, right? From the discount on that thing you want to buy to your phone's battery life. But let's be real, they can be a total headache. You learn one rule for this, another for that. It's just a mess. Well, today we're going to simplify all of it. We're going to master percentages with one single, powerful method.
I mean, what if one simple idea could solve all of it? Finding a percent of a number, adding a tip, calculating a discount, even those really tricky reverse percentage problems that trip everybody up on exams. It sounds like a magic trick, I know. But I promise you, it's just simple, elegant math. Stick with me on this.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why percentages feel so confusing in the first place. Then, we'll unlock our secret weapon, the multiplier. We'll see it in action, and finally, we'll use it to reverse engineer and solve even the toughest percentage puzzles out there. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the secret of percentages. So really, why do they seem so complicated? Well, for most of us, it boils down to the clunky way we were all taught to handle them.
Does this whole building blocks thing look familiar? You know, to find 12%, you gotta find 10% first, then find 1%, then double that and add it on. Look, it works, sure, but it's so slow, it's clunky, and it's just asking for a mistake. It turns a simple question into this multi-step nightmare. There is a much better way.
So, Section 2, unlocking the multiplier. This right here, this is the key. This is the one simple concept that is going to change the entire game for you.
So what is this big secret? This multiplier. It's literally just the decimal version of a percentage. That's it. Nothing more complicated than that. It's the tool that lets a calculator solve any percentage problem in one single step.
And to really get it, just look at the word itself, percent. It literally just means out of 100. That is the whole secret, right there. Once you truly get that, everything else just clicks into place. Finding the multiplier takes like 2 seconds. You just take any percentage, let's say 35%, and you do what the name says. You divide it by 100. So 35 divided by 100 is 0.35. And there it is. That's your multiplier.
And this works for any number you can think of. 12%? That's 0.12. 75% becomes 0.75. And check this out. It even works for percentages over 100. If you want to calculate 126% change, your multiplier is just 1.26. It's that simple.
Okay, Section 3, the multiplier in action. Now for the fun part, let's put this powerful little tool to work and see how it just demolishes those classic percentage problems.
So forget that whole multi-step method. You want to find 12% of 650? Just multiply 650 by the multiplier, 0.12. Boom! One step in your calculator and you've got the answer, 78. It's clean, it's fast, and it's perfect every time.
So what about increasing or decreasing a number? Well, the logic holds up perfectly. To increase by 15%, what you're really doing is finding 115% of the original. So your multiplier is 1.15. To decrease by 15%, you just want the 85% that's left over, so your multiplier is 0.85. And here's the key takeaway. Remember this. For any increase, your multiplier is going to be greater than 1. For any decrease, it's going to be less than 1.
Okay, let's take this to the real world. You're in a store, you see a $500 item with a big flashy 35% off sticker on it. What's the actual price you'll pay at the checkout? Forget finding 35% and then subtracting it. No. Let's do this in one shot. If you get a 35% discount, that just means you're paying for the other 65%. The multiplier for 65% is 0.65. So you just multiply 500 by 0.65 and you get the final price, $325. One calculation, done. All right, Section 4, reverse engineering. We've totally mastered the basics. Now it's time to use our multiplier to solve the puzzles that trip almost everyone up, reverse percentages. First, a quick but super important definition, percentage change. It's the difference between two values, but, and this is the important part, it's expressed as a percentage of the original amount. That last part, that it's all based on the original, that's the key to everything that follows. And get this, we can find the multiplier for any change with one dead simple formula. You just divide the final amount, the after, by the original amount, the before. The number you get, that's your multiplier. It instantly tells you the precise percentage change.
And this brings us to the final boss, reverse percentages. This is that scenario where you know the final price after a change happened, and you've got to work backwards to figure out what it was before.
Okay, here's a classic exam question. A price increases by 10%, and the new price is now £220. The question is pretty simple. What was that original price before the increase?
Now here is the trap. This is the one that almost everyone falls into. Your brain just wants to take 10% off the new price. But if you do that, you get 198 pounds, which is wrong. Why? Because that 10% was added to the original price, not the new one. You can't just undo it by working from the final number.
So let's use our multiplier logic. We know some original price, we'll just call it before, was increased by 10%. And what does that mean? It means it was multiplied by 1.10. And the result was 220 pounds. So our equation is super simple. Before times 1.10 equals 220.
And now that we have that simple equation, all we have to do is just rearrange it to solve for the before price. And look what happens. To find the original amount, you just do the opposite of what got you here. You take the final amount and you divide it by the multiplier. It's the exact same logic, just in reverse.
So we take our after price, 220 pounds, and we divide it by our multiplier, 1.10. And there's our answer. The correct original price was 200 pounds. The multiplier method solved the puzzle in one single logical step.
And there you have it, the multiplier. It isn't some shortcut or a trick. It's the direct, powerful way to actually understand and handle percentages. It's the single key that unlocks everything. Simple percentages, increases, decreases, and even those tough reverse problems. So now that you have the key, what financial puzzles are you going to unlock?